We're here at the South Carolina Horsemen's Council Annual Expo at the South Carolina Equine Park in Camden, South Carolina.
That's right, Blair. Back again this year, and we got a lot of exciting things lined up, so we're looking forward to being on a very great show today.
So stay tuned for more exciting horse tales.
Horse Tales is being brought to you today by Campbell's Roofing, roof specialist for residential and commercial. By Arbor One Farm Credit. By Quality Auto Sales for new and used cars. Make Quality Auto Sales your last stop.
By Alive Magazine, your devotional publication. Look for this in your local stores and online at alivemagazine.tv.
KG Smith Company, now stocking a full line of equine supplies. Visit them in Lake City. By Best Way Grocery, located in Hemingway, South Carolina. See Jimmy Baxley for the best meat products in Hemingway.
Did you know that the equine industry in South Carolina has an economic impact of nearly $3 billion annually? Hello, I'm Marcia Hewitt with the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. The economic impact of the horse industry is one of our state's best-kept secrets. Thousands of people are employed in different areas, from hands-on care to the production of horse supplies. Horses and the opportunity to ride various parts of our beautiful state, from the coast to the mountains, from trail riding to world-class horse racing. South Carolina is a leader in the equine industry.
If you want the feeling of real horsepower, come on down to Doug's Harley-Davidson, located in Florence, South Carolina.
Doug's Harley-Davidson wants you to come by and see why no other bikes on the road compare to Harley-Davidson's ride and performance. And after the sale, Doug's Harley-Davidson has the experience to service your new or pre-owned bike for years to come. And for the latest Harley-Davidson clothing and accessories, Doug's has the complete fashion look on and off the bike.
Doug's Harley-Davidson is not just a motorcycle, it's a way of life.
Southern Flooring and Interiors, Florence's premier flooring and decorating company. The talent, dedication, and experience of their staff gives them a leading edge in the marketplace. No job is too big or too small. Southern Flooring and Interiors, located at 1228 Celebration Boulevard.
There's nothing fresher, nothing finer than locally grown fruits and vegetables. They're tastier, sweeter, healthier, and most of us would agree they're better. That's why your South Carolina Department of Agriculture is working to make certified South Carolina-grown produce and products available in stores in your neighborhood. Ask for South Carolina. Nothing's fresher, nothing's finer.
Folks, joining me now is Bill Steele, the 2012, 13, and 14. I get that right, Bill?
That's right, yeah.
President of South Carolina Horsemen's Council. Bill, it's been a good year?
It has been a good year. Got to kind of start a little bit late this year, but we're rocking and rolling now. We've got a great weather today for our 2013 Horse Council Expo, and hope to represent the entire horse community in the state, and we're looking for a great turnout today.
Well, Bill, do you really realize how lucky you are? Now, that's a trick question, but usually when Horse Tales comes to town, the weather's bad. But here it is, February 9th. It's going to be 55, 60. The wind's going to pick up a little bit. So we dodged the bullet on the weather. Bill, I know it's been a long year, but anything in particular you want to point out that we got accomplished in the Horsemen's Council this year that really major?
Well, we're just moving forward, hoping to be more of a voice for all the different horse disciplines in our state.
Right.
And we're striving to reach out and do more outreach for more horse disciplines, and hope to represent everyone in the state, nationwide, in the horse industry.
Well, one thing I point out, well, what's the Horsemen's Council? I said, for me, it's been quite a journey. I've really enjoyed being a member. There's some things we prevent from happening. We've had some legislation through the year submitted that we shot down that most folks don't know and stuff like that. So, you know, it's really what we prevent from happening, the big thing. But we got a major event coming up in July. You want to tell the folks about that?
We sure do. We're going to, the South Carolina Horsemen's Council will host the National Equestrian Trails Conference to be held in Rock Hill on July 18, 19, and 20. Okay. And a large part of this conference and the focus will be on youth education. Not about horses, but about horse trails and about land conservation. So in order for us to foster the next generation of equestrians in our state and around our country, we need to educate our youth on how to protect our property, how to protect our land, and how to respect and appreciate the use of public property, and what state and federal legislation is in place that our land managers have to follow. So we just want to kind of showcase that aspect of equestrians using our public trail systems.
Well, we showed them that we had it, what, a couple of years ago down in Charleston?
2008. Right.
So this beautiful places, smiling faces must have wore off on everybody, is that right?
That's right.
So they're pretty good. So we're really looking forward to that. So if folks want to get in touch with the Horsemen's Council and find out all about it, how can they do that?
They can go to our website, SC Horsemen's Council. Google that, you'll find us there. And please go to the netc2013.com. That's the website for the national conference coming up in July.
Well, very good, Bill. I've been sitting at your right hands and stood in with you for a couple times.
Yes, sir, I thank you.
You got a tough job, so we're looking forward to working with you this year.
All right.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, David.
Joining me is Kaylee, who is here at the Expo today doing a jousting demonstration with a group of men. Tell me the name of this organization.
It's called EAFK, Early Act First Night.
Okay, and what exactly do y'all go around doing?
It's a child character development program, and what we do with our show is we kick off it's like a pep rally for the beginning of the year. This is a curriculum put into the schools, and it helps build character. And when we go to the schools and do our show, it's a big booster to get everything started.
Yeah.
And it gets everybody pumped up and ready for the season and ready to learn new things.
That's great.
Yeah.
So how many schools are y'all in?
Right now we're about 8. We're working about 4 more in South Carolina and the Kannapolis, North Carolina area.
Okay, and I understand this all started in Texas, is that correct?
It did. The founder is Randall Parr, and he started in Houston, Texas, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. But they have about 90 schools doing it down there now. And it's a really great program. You can really see results with bullying rates going down and grades coming up and things like that.
So are y'all just in elementary schools, middle schools, or?
It's mainly elementary and middle. They like to do, it's K through 8, so I mean, yeah.
Okay, and y'all are here today doing a demonstration. Is that just to kick off the year?
It's kind of like a warm-up for us to get things going, get things where they need to be. It's more like a practice for us.
And also probably raising awareness for, what y'all do. I mean, that's
it's
such a great cause.
Great way to get it out there. Great way to make everybody known to what we're doing and try to get it into more schools because it's such a good program.
It is. And you started riding when you were very young, correct?
Yes, I was 2 years old when I started riding.
So how did you get involved in this?
Well, my dad, he met these guys that came up. They were looking for a jousting horse, and we had a big walking horse that we were trying to sell, and we were like, yeah, we'll try it. So the more he got to talking about them about the joust, the more he got interested in it, and then he started learning about the program, and one thing led to another, and here we are.
Yeah.
And of course I'm volunteered because I'm a starter.
And you're the only girl doing this.
I am. We had another girl, but she mainly squires, and sometimes she'll ride, but she's not here today.
Well, that's pretty impressive. You did a great job out there. I was really impressed. And y'all also have a full facility, stable, right?
Yeah, we have a full boarding facility. It's in Concord, North Carolina. It's David Meesmer Stables.
Okay.
And we have a website.
Okay, what is that website?
DavidMeesmerStables.com, or you can reach us on Facebook.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Tim, Did you run out? Did you get your shirt wet this morning? You had to use tablecloth.
Just got the scissors out and cut me a tablecloth and made me a shirt, baby. So it works pretty good, don't you think? It looks pretty good.
You had me confused. I thought it was the old Purina checkerboard.
Yeah.
Folks, joining me is Tim Jackson with Purina Animal Nutrition. I got it out, Tim.
You did.
How about our vet tip of the day?
Well, David, I'll tell you the tip for today. I'd suggest two things to folks. Number one is make sure you know what your horse weighs. That's real important in knowing what to feed and how much to feed. And there's a cool little horse weight tape that's used. It's pretty simple to use. It's even got pictures on here on how to do it.
For folks like me.
And for me, simple-minded like me. So we got to know what the horse weighs. And then the next thing that we find commonly is people overfeed their horses in their grains. So what we want to do is get the weight and then figure out exactly in pounds per day how much they need to feed the horse. And there's a couple of ways to do that. This is a Purina feed scoop, and it has different graduations on it for the different pounds of the different products we have. Really great scoop. These are available at our Purina dealers, and I encourage folks to go by and pick one of these up, and it's a real handy, easy way to actually weigh per day what to feed. The other way is just simply take some scales, even some fish scales or either little platform scales.
Yep. Okay.
Take their scoop, whatever they have back home at the barn, and scoop out an amount of feed they have and just actually weigh it. So, and then follow the directions. Each one of these products has a direction of pounds per day to feed, and we just, as long as people will follow those directions and guidelines, usually horses will do great.
Well, Tim, you really measured up on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Yes, sir.
My name is Lakin Hoffman. Please visit my dad at Quality Auto Sales and stay tuned for more Horse Tales.
Horse Tales is being brought to you today by Mickey Finn's, your one-stop party shop with 2 locations to serve you in Florence. Ashley Jones, for all your farrier needs. Call Ashley at 843-992-6723. By Pine View Enterprises, for all your trailer, horse cargo, and utility needs. Also check out their full line of golf carts and storage buildings. See Randall Jones for the best deals in the Southeast. By King Street Auction Company, buying and selling new and used equipment, tractors, and real estate. Call Alton Brown Jr. at 843-382-2121. And by Marshall's Marine. When you need horsepower for your boat, call Marshall's Marine.
There's nothing fresher, nothing finer than locally grown fruits and vegetables. They're tastier, sweeter, healthier, and most of us would agree they're better. That's why your South Carolina Department of Agriculture is working to make certified South Carolina grown produce and products available in stores in your neighborhood. Ask for South Carolina. Nothing's fresher, nothing's finer.
Did you know that the equine industry in South Carolina has an economic impact of nearly $3 billion annually? Hello, I'm Marcia Hewitt with the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. The economic impact of the horse industry is one of our state's best-kept secrets. Thousands of people are employed in different areas, from hands-on care to the production of horse supplies. Horses and the opportunity to ride various parts of our beautiful state, from the coast to the mountains, from trail riding to world-class horse racing. South Carolina is a leader in the equine industry.
Folks, join me now with Eddie O'Kane, the 2013 South Carolina Horse Person of the Year.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well, did you have to pay for that position?
Well, no. I asked about that, and there's no monetary that comes with this award.
Well, you've done a lot for the welfare of horses in this state. Can you kind of tell the folks how you come about doing that?
Well, I retired law enforcement, and a position came open with the Humane Society as state investigator, and went over, started doing that, and last 4 years, that's exactly what I've done. It's worked and helped animals. Horses being one of the big issues these days. The economy like it is, a lot of negatives working with horses. Folks are having a hard time taking care of them. And I get called in through the counties, the state, to assist in horse investigations. A lot of times these areas don't have the funds to take care of large animals, and I get called in to try to help any way I can.
Right, and you own, what county are you work mainly in?
I work the whole state.
Whole state?
Yes, sir. Work out of Columbia and go anywhere in the state, try to help animals.
Were you a horse person growing up?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Pretty much had horses all my life.
And you own horses now?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
And through this, a lot of times I have to find homes for horses before I can take them. Some of them go to the house. I have to rehab them and then try to find them forever homes. So a lot of this ends up at home before it goes somewhere else. So it gets kind of lengthy and expensive sometimes.
Well, listen, we appreciate everything you've done in the state of South Carolina.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Today's tack tip is about how to buy a saddle that is the right fit for the rider. Typically, when you measure a saddle for fit, you start at the back of the pommel and go to the rear of the seat or the cantle. So on this saddle, this would be approximately 16 inches. This saddle happens to have a flat area right here too, so it is an accurate 16 inches. However, if you are interested in a saddle that has a deep seat, so in other words, this might be the same, but all of a sudden it comes up in a sharp rise, and you've got a tall cantle out back, this 16 inches is not going to feel like 16, in which case you may need to go up to the next larger size because a 16 is going to make you feel squished. So always sit in the saddle you plan to buy. That's my tack tip for the day. I'm Shelby Frimmel from Double Diamond Equine. You can find me on the web at www.doubleddiamondequine.com.
Folks, joining me now is Dr. Julia Fisher. She has a PhD and a title this long. Dr. Fisher, would you tell me again what's your doctorate?
It's a doctorate in cognitive linguistics. So.
You got that, folks? But we're going to talk about something we have in common, endurance riding here. Dr. Fisher, tell us what you're doing here today at the Expo.
I actually am going to be giving a presentation in a few minutes that will give people an introduction to endurance riding and just what is that all about and how does one go about getting into the sport. It's the fastest growing sport, equestrian sport in the United States today, and basically because people just like to get out there and ride. Get out on the trails and ride, and sometimes they like to ride fast. So it's a timed event that actually pays attention to your ability to pace yourself, and we're talking about anywhere between 25 and 30 miles to 100-mile rides.
Well, Dr. Fisher, you were sharing with me a few minutes ago, you started off, you was a little intimidated when you started at the 25 miles, right?
That's correct.
And I really enjoyed you walked me through some of your emotion stuff. Could you share with us that?
Oh, sure. The first ride, I said I was just really pretty psyched about the whole experience, and I think there was a lot of just adrenaline going, and the environment and the energy in one of those rides is just infectious and contagious, and I had an absolutely wonderful time and couldn't even tell you, most of it's a blur. But the second time now, I'm a little bit more experienced, and I'm getting into, trying to pay attention to taking care of my horse, taking care of, the procedure for the ride itself. There's a fairly complicated set of rules that you have to follow, and you have to go into the vet checks at a certain time, and you have to have your horse performing at a particular level. And so I was a little more concerned about my horse than myself for a while there, and I realized by the end of the second ride that the way I put it, I felt like I got hit by a truck. I was just completely wiped out, mentally and emotionally and physically. I just wanted to sit down for about 4 days. But paying attention and realizing what was going on there, and I have lots of wonderful support from other riders. It's one of the things I can say about this sport is people are just really happy to have you as part of the team. There's not a lot of equestrian sports that are competitive and at the same time quite so supportive of new riders and people new to the whole sport. So people told me you'll get a little bit of advice from this one, a little bit of advice from that one, things about your horse, things about yourself, and put it all together, and it makes for a successful ride. So I've done about 20 rides at the limited distance now, probably closer to 25 limited distance rides, and I am very pleased to say I have more than half of those are top 10. So I'm doing pretty well in terms of just generally being successful. Bumped up to 50-mile rides about a year and a half ago, and had some issues. That's twice the distance, and you're going to expect perhaps twice the issues. So we kind of backed off. I did 3 50-mile rides, and then I bumped back down to 25s, and I'm scheduled to do a 50 at the end of March. So I'm excited to get back into
the longer distance. This is a real team sport. I mean, my horse is an athlete. She needs to be able to run 50 miles. This is not small potatoes, so being able to read her and understand what kinds of clues and cues I'm getting from her, it's really a challenge, and it's one of the most rewarding parts of the whole exercise, really, is being able to do that with her.
Well, you have really endured, haven't you?
I am having a good time.
Folks back at home want to get in touch with you, Dr. Fisher, to learn how they can get started. How do they do that?
AERC is really a wonderful organization. This is an American Endurance Ride Conference again, and they are at www.aerc.org, and wonderful resources in terms of education for riders trying to get into the sport, calendar for when there's going to be rides out there and what the distances are, and there's links to all of those rides so that you can actually download directions to the ride, instructions for the ride, who the head vet is going to be at that ride, and all the information you could possibly want to know. But there's an education tab on that website as well that is really very, very useful in terms of just answering a lot of these first-time questions. And contact for all kinds of ride managers and directors from the organization itself with any kind of question.
Well, the final question are, what you promised you're going to help me do a show and then see if I can finish a 25 mile.
I would be delighted.
Well, thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Horse Tales is being brought to you today by Williamsburg Feed and Tack, your Seminole Feed and Carhartt clothing shop. Equestrian Images, making memories together. Carolina Hoofbeats, the Carolina's premier equine magazine. By Marcia Hewitt, equine specialist for the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. And by Mark Horsemen Training Center, where helping people ride better horses is not just a slogan, it's an everyday occurrence.
Folks, join now is Joe Most, Perfect Partners Equine. Joe, it's good seeing you again.
Yes, sir. Same here.
I was hanging out with Joe here a while back, and we were planning a show, and Joe is quite a storyteller. He got telling us about his parents. So, folks, today I got a special treat for you. It's not a horse tale. It's a bird tail. We're going out on a limb on this one, folks. So, Joe, I hope I got you limbered up. So,
just a little bit.
I know you got a lot of bird tails, but I like the window one the best.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had this double yellow-headed parrot, and he was just the funniest daggone thing. Well, we leave him just on his perch, and the house I lived in then had a big open room with sliding glass windows across the front of it. Well, we hadn't had him long, maybe about 2-3 weeks, and he was sitting up on his perch, and he just decided to take a notion to fly, and he took off across that room, and he hit that sliding glass door, and it was just like a cartoon. He hit it, stopped dead, and it slid down and hit the floor. And he got up. We didn't know how many words that he could say, but he got up, shook his head, and went, "Wow!" I about fell out of my chair.
He was really winging it, wasn't he, Joe?
He was winging it.
Well, folks, that's a good bird tail, and it won't be the last you hear from Joe Most and Perfect Partners Equine. Thanks, Joe.
You bet. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, we sure to have a great time out here at the South Carolina Horsemen's Council Expo. This is an annual event, and guys, if you did not make it this year, this is definitely an event you need to put on your calendar.
Definitely is, Blair. We looking each other eye to eye trying to get this closed done, aren't we?
We sure are. So what are you on here?
Well, Joe Most said this is about my speed, so I'm kind of rocking along here.
Well, I hope that horse doesn't throw you.
Yeah, it's not a Mars tacky, but I'm getting it done.
That's right. And guys, if you've missed an episode, check us out at horsetalestv.com. You can watch all of our past episodes, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
We'll say a special thanks to all our sponsors, and until next week, keep your reins low and your hands quiet.
See you next week.